an ancient tomb sealed for over 3,000 years, mysterious deaths that followed its discovery, and whispers of an ancient curse. Did King Tutankhamun's tomb truly unleash a deadly force upon those who dared to disturb it? Our story begins in 1922 in the Valley of the Kings, a desolate and mysterious place where the remains of Egypt's great pharaohs were laid to rest. British archaeologist Howard Carter and his team made what would become the greatest discovery of the century: the tomb of Tutankhamun, an Egyptian pharaoh who ascended to the throne as a young boy and whose story had remained largely hidden until that day. But along with the riches and treasures, the discovery came with something far more sinister: the whispered tales of the pharaoh's curse. When Carter opened the tomb, it was a moment of triumph. Inside lay unimaginable riches: golden artifacts, jewelry, statues, and at the center of it all, the perfectly preserved sarcophagus of the young pharaoh. It was an archaeological dream, but it would soon take on a darker tone. Just months after the tomb's opening, Lord Carnarvon, the financier of the expedition, died suddenly from an infected mosquito bite. The media seized on the story, and soon headlines around the world proclaimed it was the curse of the pharaohs, an ancient spell cast upon anyone who dared disturb the final resting place of Egypt's kings. What exactly is the curse of the pharaohs? It's said to be an ancient warning, intended to deter tomb robbers and desecrators. In the case of King Tutankhamun, many believed that the curse was real. Over the next several years, other members of the expedition began to die under mysterious circumstances: an illness here, an accidental death there. By 1930, over a dozen people linked to the discovery of the tomb had died unexpectedly. The legend of the curse grew, fueled by the media and the eerie coincidences that seemed to follow anyone connected to the excavation. But was it truly a curse? Or was it simply the result of tragic coincidences, amplified by a public eager for mystery and suspense? Skeptics argue that the deaths were not unusual given the time period. Medical conditions, infections, and limited healthcare made sudden death all too common in the early 20th century. Yet the deaths of those associated with the tomb have continued to captivate the public imagination for decades. One of the most famous aspects of the curse was the inscription supposedly found on the tomb, which reportedly read, "Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king." Although there is no definitive evidence that this specific curse was inscribed in King Tut's tomb, the belief in the power of the curse persisted, even among those who were not particularly superstitious. Howard Carter himself never believed in the curse. He lived for years after the discovery and died of natural causes in 1939 at the age of 64. However, even Carter was not immune to the strange occurrences that seemed to follow the tomb's opening. It's said that on the day he first entered the tomb, his pet canary was killed by a cobra, a symbol of Egyptian royalty. To some, this was another ominous sign that the tomb had been disturbed. The mystery deepens when we consider the strange illnesses that plagued the workers who helped excavate the site. Could there have been a rational explanation, such as exposure to ancient mold, bacteria, or toxic substances that had been sealed inside the tomb for millennia? Some scientists have suggested that spores or pathogens trapped within the tomb's sealed environment could have contributed to the unexplained ailments. These theories provide a rational answer to the supposed curse, yet the aura of fear and mystery remains. The treasures of King Tutankhamun's tomb were unparalleled: solid gold death masks, intricate jewelry, ceremonial chariots, and countless other relics of a bygone era. But the discovery also brought with it an eerie feeling, something intangible, as though the tomb itself was watching those who entered, as though the spirit of the boy king was still present, aware of the invasion of his sacred resting place. Even today, nearly a century later, the tale of the pharaoh's curse continues to fascinate us. The golden mask of King Tutankhamun has become an icon of ancient Egypt, representing both the grandeur of its civilization and the mysterious, supernatural allure that seems to surround it. The tomb is now open to visitors, and while millions have come to gaze at its wonders, some still approach with trepidation, wary of the stories of curses and misfortune. But what do we really know about the curse? Is it merely a story, invented to protect the tombs from looters and later sensationalized by a media hungry for ghost stories? Or is there something more? Something inexplicable that science has yet to fully understand? Perhaps the curse of the pharaohs is a reminder of the power of belief itself, the kind of belief that can shape destinies, cause fear, and maybe even bring about death. The curse of King Tutankhamun's tomb is one of history's most chilling legends, a story that has blurred the lines between mystery, myth, and reality. If you're fascinated by tales where the supernatural meets history, join us next as we explore the chilling case of the Greenbrier ghost, a ghost that may have solved her own murder. Click on the next video and dive deeper into the mysteries that defy explanation.